Hello and welcome to Gritty Reboot, the show where we make fun of TV's dark side. And we finished our first season, guys!
We somehow did it! I'm Hunter Markham, and with me are my co-hosts Kevin James and Sarah Dunaway. And we have somehow survived season 1 of Riverdale.
It was a close call, but we made it.
Sarah made it through twice.
I don't know how you made it.
Yeah. I hope you're very proud.
Yeah, it was quite a learning experience, but at least we came out of it a massive success with dozen of followers.
Hey, everything has to start small. But, I mean, we had a great time. I think now that we have a full season under our belts, we really want to do some even bigger things with the podcast. And part of that is, like...
Twice as many hosts.
Yes. I'm doing a multiplicity on myself, so there are several versions of me. So it's that much more obnoxious. But I think this is a good opportunity for us to talk about sort of our plans for the future, and then like what comes immediately next for us.
Yeah.
Let's rewatch season 1, obviously.
Let's recut it so it's just the characters we like.
I would watch that. We could definitely improve a lot by condensing it to what did you say, Hunter? Betty, Jughead, Alice, and Cheryl?
Yeah.
And Reggie.
Yes.
Oh, Reggie. Sweet prince, we hardly knew ye.
I think I just cut together one episode that's all of Reggie's scenes.
Aww.
It sounds like you're talking about my in memoriam montage.
Yes, that was perfect. Just hearing his sultry voice. Okay, so I bumped into some online quiz someone sent me that was like, do you know these Gen Z celebrities? And the only ones I knew were KJ Apa and Madeline Page because they were on the list. I feel like this is like keeping me relevant and keeping me in the know of what pop culture is.
Yeah, I think was that a BuzzFeed quiz?
Yes.
I feel like I've seen that one and did similarly.
I struggled with it, and there are things like names that came up where I was like, I've never heard of this person, and that's when I realized like I'm officially old.
Well, what you should have realized is like half of the celebrities on there were the biggest unboxing stars on YouTube.
Yes.
I brought up recently the time with the years that Alanis Morissette was engaged to Ryan Reynolds, and Kevin was like, what are you talking about?
Hey, Alanis Morissette was Canadian treasure for a while.
She was here
everything.
to remind us.
Oh, God.
I learned much later after listening to that album obsessively at age 9 or 10 that it was filthy.
Yes.
Did not know that.
Would she go down on you in a theater?
Didn't know what that meant. Sure didn't.
Wasn't that song about Dave Coulier from Full House?
It absolutely
Unfortunately.
It was, yes.
Jagged Little Pill. It's a great album.
We have gone so off the rails. We started by saying young people won't know this, and we're just getting further and further away.
They're gonna be like, Dave Coulier, they're not going to know how to spell that.
Coulier, okay?
I loved Gangsta's Paradise.
No.
You're the closest to Gen Z that we have, Kevin.
I know. Kids, I totally know who all your faves are.
That Zendaya, am I right? She's a person.
I do know who that is.
Me too.
Oh my god, we have so much in common.
In that literally I could like maybe point her out of a small lineup.
I
But
couldn't.
I don't really know anything about her.
That was one of the things on the BuzzFeed quiz. It was Zendaya. I'm like, I've heard this name. And I'm like, oh no, there's like 7 different females on here. It could be any one of them.
She was MJ in the new Spider-Man movies, which no one should see because they're mediocre.
So there are Spider-Man movies, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is the only good one.
Okay, yes.
Oh, that one's amazing.
That one's good. It's a live-action Spider-Man film. That's what I should have said.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't seen those. So, besides keeping us in touch with the youthful generation, what other good things came out of watching Riverdale Season 1 for you guys?
I finally know about the crazy thing Northeasterners do by putting maple syrup in their coffee.
The normal thing.
I might have gone my whole life without learning that, and frankly, I think I would have preferred to.
You joke, but you know you love it. I mean, but Betty and Jughead are super cute. That was true the first time. That was also true on this rewatch.
Yes. I'm trying to think of other good things that could have possibly come out of us seeing this show, besides us laughing
We
a
got
lot.
a lot of fun jokes. Like every time we edited audio together or like I put together clips for YouTube, like I would always laugh at things that I had forgotten. So I think we're funny.
Yes, that's the thing. Like, I was editing one of our episodes right before we jumped on this call, and like, I still bust up at stuff that I forget you guys said. Yeah, you know, the important thing is doing what you love, and making fun of these TV shows is what we love to do. But I think this is the time to renew our mission statement that we're here for sexy horror.
And drama.
We're not just a Riverdale podcast.
Yes, so I threw out several suggestions that I think are like fun, sexy teen horror shows, or could be. The one I've actually seen is Vampire Diaries, which is, again, both good and bad. I think better than Riverdale in a lot of ways, but
Ooh,
also
high bar.
I know, right? Yeah, I'm saying a lot, but also bad. And then there's a new Sabrina, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
There's a new Charmed. There's a Buffy reboot coming. We've thrown out a lot of ideas.
There's a Roswell reboot. I guess that's more sci-fi.
That's worth it, though.
Yeah.
Wait, there was a show called Roswell before?
Yes.
And it's a teen drama about aliens dating at a Roswell high school.
Oh, I thought that was like Third Rock from the Sun or something.
Oh, I love that
No,
show.
this was a WB show that started in 98, 99, starring Jason Behr, Katherine Hagel. Young Katherine Hagel's
Wow.
in it as one of the aliens.
We have lost our entire Gen Z
Everyone
audience.
is gone now. It's just an empty room. I'm not going to say it was good. What I will say is that I was obsessed with it in middle school.
All right, that's perfect. The
Yeah.
Sabrina reboot really excited me when I heard about that because I loved that show as a kid. But I literally just now, Kevin, when you said it, that was the first I'd heard of a Buffy reboot. Has that started yet? Is that still just slated to come? Because we absolutely have to do this if they're rebooting your favorite show.
I believe it is slated to come. I am not positive.
I mean, when that happens, we should do a real-time thing.
Yes. I think that's a must, just because if Kevin's dismay can be mined for comedic value, if they do it terribly, then that will be great. And if it's good, then we're just like enjoying a super cool version of Buffy, and Kevin gets to kind of re-experience one of his favorite shows.
Yes.
Also, doing something that's currently on the air will make us seem more relevant, so that's good.
Do we really want to see more relevant, though? Or do we really want to be more the Sherry Appleby of podcasts?
I'd really like to go back and do Abbott and Costello Meet the Wolfman. That's one of my favorites.
Sexy teen drama it is.
Absolutely.
Here's the thing, since Buffy's not out yet, and we've had such a good time with Riverdale, can we really leave Riverdale behind?
No, I'm not sure we can. And I was the one who was arguing maybe we should just go through the second season because I feel like there's a lot more material to be mined there. But like you guys were saying, it kind of gives a false impression if we just stay on one show the whole time.
Yes, and I've heard such awful things about season 2. Like, everyone says it's a big letdown. Sarah, it's where you quit watching. It's where like 2 or 3 other people I've spoken to said that's where they jumped ship on the show or lost interest. Like, season 2 is garbage, apparently. Mm-hmm. Sarah, what made it bad? Like, how far did you get into it, and what made you just switch, like, I'm gonna watch something else?
Should I reveal spoilers?
No, actually, but can you do a spoiler-free version of, like, this is awful?
I can try. Okay.
I mean, there are parts you can say that aren't spoilers, like
Yes.
awful Betty Jughead continuing relationship drama that doesn't make sense.
Yes. There was drama with that was ridiculous. Just to create tension. So they pivot to focusing a lot more, like Archie ends up driving the plot
Yuck.
a lot more. That is not a positive shift. And he also gets more and more unlikable.
Wow.
Yeah. That's really the most I can say. They create unnecessary tension in the only good relationship and like the only reason to watch the show. And then also they start focusing a lot more on Archie, and that is not to the show's benefit.
You know what I think could really improve Riverdale's second season? Just lots of long, lingering shots on Veronica's Mont Blanc collection.
What if she has other pens in the collection? What if she has those handmade, hand-painted Japanese pens?
Ooh, the Namiki Makie?
Yeah, I just wanted you to say that.
I mean, I would be a diehard Riverdale fan for life if that was what happened.
The flip side of that is I heard wild things about season 3. Like on another podcast I was listening to, they mentioned, oh, like season 1's pretty normal, but season 3, like things get really weird. I think something about like a gargoyle king, and this is when my ears perked up.
Oh my god, that was real? Because we totally had that in one of our scripts that we found and read, and we dismissed that as being too far-fetched to really happen.
Exactly. But this is the thing. I went into this thinking from episode 1 there was going to be a supernatural element and like a town curse or some like death cult or something, but there wasn't. It seems like by season 3 they've woken up and smelled the coffee.
The maple syrup infused coffee.
Yes. So I'm like, I want to see season 3.
Okay.
That's all the discussion we need.
Yeah, let's skip ahead. I will finally be able to make predictions and not have to worry about spoiling things for you. And none of us will have any idea what the hell's going on, which will be similar to the experience of season 1, but more.
Exactly.
Yeah, it seems like a great idea all around. It'll shake things up. It'll remind people we're not a straight Riverdale podcast, but we won't have to move on so quickly, and we'll get into more of the content we were hoping to get into while, just keeping it a little more fresh and allowing Sarah to join us in our confused Kafka-esque podcast experience.
Yes, because that's what excites me about this. I love beginnings, I love origin stories, and by just skipping this middle chapter, it feels like we get to have a whole new beginning, and it becomes not just what's going to happen next, but we have to try and somehow piece together what happened in the, I think, 22 episodes that we just skipped.
Yeah, that's another reason I heard season 2 sucked. They bumped the episode order up, it's nearly double, and they did not have the content to deal with that.
So it's probably like, what, 17 plus hours of Riverdale that we're just going to skip.
That sounds right.
We just read, I guess, Chamber of Secrets and Sorcerer's Stone, and now we're skipping right ahead to Order of the Phoenix.
Kids, Harry Potter was a book that we read when we were your age.
It's like we read Genesis and Exodus, but we didn't read Leviticus and Numbers?
Ooh, you're really missing out. Numbers is where the book really shines. I mean, just the rules for when you can and can't leaven bread. I mean, riveting.
This is now, we're cross-pollinating with a lot of religious references. That's going to be our shift. And so maybe we come up with some new themes. Maybe I'm barred from making Fall Out Boy references, but I really have to lean into, like...
Panic at the Disco references.
I was going to go with Old Testament references.
Well, Panic at the Disco is older than the Old Testament at this point, I'm pretty sure.
True.
I didn't hear my first Panic at the Disco song until, like, 2 years ago, and I said, not for me.
Correct.
So... other things for season 3 that you guys are thinking besides, what do you guys know about season 3 so far? Because I have 2 knowledge points.
Just the Gargoyle King thing, and I only know that from you.
Okay. The other thing I know is, like, Archie's going to prison.
Oh.
So I think it opens, like, I think it may open with Archie on the bus, like, I don't know, or maybe some sort of, like, Con Air situation.
Maybe it just turns into The Longest Yard.
I mean, I'm glad that finally he's getting having some consequences for his terrible actions. It's about time.
We're not going to know why he's going to prison, but I don't think that'll matter.
No.
Imagine how much shirtless time he can have just, like, lifting weights.
I really want to know which prison gang he's going to join. Like, oh, the Aryans are making him a good offer, but the Latin Kings are interested too.
You're literally just repeating the plot of a BoJack Horseman episode we just
Yeah.
But this will be
Okay.
great because instead of like Veronica and Betty vying for his attention and he never makes a decision, he just does the same thing but with like prison gang leaders.
He ends up with like 20 different gang tattoos, different gangs.
This one can only see the left side of my face because this is where I have the like iron cross for the white supremacist gang.
Roberto, I was only looking at the Death to Jews banner because it reminded me of what I wanted to be for you.
So I think that's where we're going. I don't know how the Gargoyle King factors in. I don't know if he's in prison with Archie. I don't know if he's out of prison. And I hope I'm not wrong. I hope that the information I got was correct.
I'm just going to go in assuming that this is a crossover with Disney's Gargoyles, an animated show that ended 23 years ago at this point, I think.
We've got to stop making old references.
I think Gargoyles is coming back, so maybe it's a new reference.
I think it probably is because I don't really know what you're talking about.
I know it. I remember it vaguely from when I was a kid. So maybe like we just lean into the fact that we grew up in the 90s and we make those references and our fan base either has to sink or swim with that. We
Yes.
can't change at this point.
Or we could always work hard, learn new things, accept that the next generation is into things that are valuable too. But you know what? Now that I hear it out loud, it all sounds stupid. Let's never do that.
Definitely not.
Yeah, Sarah can't go back and unlisten to Jagged Little Pill 300 times.
No. It's
Why
too
would you
late.
want to? It's too good.
Yes.
Does Zendaya do music?
I
don't
I thought she was a musician, and then you said she was in a Spider-Man movie. So I'm just like, have I been wrong this whole time?
She's very pretty. That's all I have.
You know, wouldn't know her if I hit her with a truck.
I know she's producing a television show.
Well, maybe one day she'll graduate up to a podcast. Then I'll know who she is.
So yeah, I think that's a good place to leave everything. When we come back next week, we will be discussing Riverdale Season 3, Episode 1.
Don't know the title, but hey, we'll find this all out as we go.
Yeah.
In the meantime, subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere else you're listening to us. Spread the word, and you can reach us on Twitter at Gritty Reboot Pod or by email at grittyrebootpodcast@gmail.com. We look forward to seeing you next time.